Trump breaking news. Trump orders Alabama to save IVF after ruling. In a Friday social media post, former President Donald Trump requested that the Alabama state legislators discover a quick fix to keep in vitro fertilization services available in the state. The Alabama Supreme Court's ruling late last week that embryos formed through in vitro fertilization are legally deemed children has heightened concerns about the accessibility of in vitro fertilization therapy in the state, several states' anti-abortion legislation dates back to the June 2022 overturn of Roe v. Wade. Despite Republican claims that these rules will protect unborn children, Democrats view them as a threat to women's right to choose how they want to care for their bodies. The Alabama Supreme Court decision has sparked a lot of discussion about the potential legal ramifications for doctors who destroy embryos. In vitro fertilization, IVF, frequently results in the disposal of embryos, either because of genetic problems or because individuals opt not to utilize them. Several Alabama institutions have temporarily suspended their in vitro fertilization services due to the high level of uncertainty around the process, which has left patients confused and worried that they may not have the opportunity to start a family. Republicans are in a mad dash to explain to their base how the Alabama case impacts in vitro fertilization, IVF, since the verdict came down. Under my leadership, the Republican Party will always encourage the creation of strong, thriving, healthy American families, Trump wrote on his social media platform Truth Social in response to growing American anxiety. Our goal is to remove obstacles to parenthood rather than create more of them. That includes working to ensure that all 50 states have access to in vitro fertilization and other fertility procedures. I firmly believe that couples attempting to have a lovely baby should have access to in vitro fertilization, just like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans. Today, I am urging the Alabama legislature to move swiftly to discover an expedient remedy to maintain the availability of IVF in Alabama, the former president said, pressing lawmakers to take swift action. A mother, father, and their precious child should always have the Republican Party's support since life is a miracle. A big part of that is in vitro fertilization, and the great Republican Party will be there for you every step of the way as you seek the greatest happiness of your life. In light of the decision by the Alabama Supreme Court, Attorney General Steve Marshall addressed questions about in vitro fertilization. Deputy Chief Counsel Catherine Robertson said Newsweek via email on Friday that Attorney General Marshall has no intention of exploiting the recent Alabama Supreme Court judgment as a basis for prosecuting IVF families or providers. For comment, Newsweek emailed Trump's campaign. Embryos, to me, are babies, Trump's Republican presidential rival Nikki Haley said on Wednesday in an interview with NBC News. I know that when my doctor came in, we knew what was possible and what wasn't. Haley, a former UN ambassador and governor of South Carolina, addressed her own experience as well, saying that she had her son through artificial insemination. When in a relationship, a woman must always be aware of what her spouse is seeing. According to Haley, you make the decision that's best for your family after having that consideration. You have stated that you believe an embryo is a baby, is a life, CNN's Jake Tapper told Haley on Thursday. However, you did mention that a doctor and patient should be the ones to decide what to do with embryos. I suppose my question is this: after that, you didn't concur with the Alabama Supreme Court, did you? Yeah, but I think the court was doing it based on the law, and I think Alabama needs to go back and look at the legislation, Haley responded. The verdict by the Alabama Supreme Court was shocking, but not surprising, according to Vice President Kamala Harris. Countless individuals and families are having their access to reproductive health care through IVF taken away from them, she told reporters on Thursday, referring to the situation in Alabama. On Thursday, Republican South Carolina Representative Nancy Mace told Axios that she is already drafting a legislative reaction to the Alabama decision. Mace argued that people should do all they could to safeguard in vitro fertilization for women worldwide. At this moment, we are considering our legislative options while we craft a resolution to convey our feelings. On the other hand, Democrats have seized on limits on women's health care, such as abortion prohibitions, as a political rallying cry to encourage women and others impacted by these new laws to cast their